Hello, and welcome to this recording of the Independence Downtown Parking Experience. The City of Independence is working with the Oregon Department of Land Conservation and Development, Oregon Department of Transportation, and private consultants to study parking in the downtown area. This recorded video is intended to communicate to members of the public, local stakeholders, and others about the purpose of the project, while also explaining and seeking public feedback on potential strategies. Let's jump in. During this short video, we'll introduce the project and its purpose, explain takeaways from parking data, go over a few parking strategies under consideration, and talk about how you can get involved with this project. The Independence Downtown Parking Experience seeks to answer these 5 questions. What are people's current parking experience downtown? What are the city's current and future parking needs? How can we improve these experiences for the future? How can this project promote the vibrancy of downtown Independence? And how do existing city plans and regulations impact future growth and development in downtown as they relate to parking? We can answer these questions in part by exploring strategies for managing parking demand and capacity. The project area is focused on downtown Independence, specifically the area bordered by 3rd Street to the west and the Willamette River to the east, and A Street in the north and G Street to the south. While this project is focusing on this area, the city understands that people from across the area and the county travel to downtown Independence. The city is keeping this in mind as the project develops. This project kicked off in July and August with a project team site visit to understand the extent of the project area. This phase was closely followed by the parking and data collection phase. In order to gain an understanding of parking demand within the study area, a detailed study of parking inventory, demand, and utilization was conducted on a weekday and a weekend day. In September and October, the project team evaluated existing city plans and regulations to understand past conversations about parking in the city and the downtown area, and to understand how the city's development will impact future parking capacity and demand. Currently, the city is preparing a downtown parking strategy plan and drafting parking code amendments to right-size current and future capacity and demand. Early next year, the downtown parking strategy plan will go before City Council to be officially adopted by the City of Independence. The project team analyzed the demographics of the project area and found that compared to the City of Independence and Polk County, the project area is more Hispanic. There are more individuals under 18 years of age than the county, but fewer individuals over 65. Residents in the project area have a lower median household income than the county. This demographic information is critical to understanding who will be impacted by downtown growth and parking management strategies. Commercial and residential zoning in the downtown area will increase the population density and will impact parking demand and parking management options. There are many user groups who utilize parking spaces in the project area, such as residents, businesses like Ash Creek Animal Clinic, Brew Coffee and Tap, Independence Dental, Manuia, and others, as well as employees and patrons of commercial businesses or people accessing civic services, community resources, or recreational opportunities. These user groups all have different access and parking needs. Independence has a lot of features in the downtown that make it possible for people to get around without a car, though more could be added. Improvements to the transportation system can provide opportunities to reduce the overall need for parking, but can also make it easier for people to park further from their destination, helping keep high demand spaces available for those who need them most. Parking data collection was conducted on Thursday, August 10th and Saturday, August 12th, 2023 from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. on each day. The project team walked the study area and counted the number of cars on each block and in key parking lots to get a sense of how parking is or isn't being used currently. 2 key measures were used to understand how parking currently operates: utilization and turnover. Utilization is how frequently a spot is occupied during the day, measured as a percent. More than 85% represents full capacity. Turnover is how many unique vehicles occupy a given parking space. measured as a ratio. 1.0 represents the same vehicle in the same space throughout the data period. Utilization is shown via a set of maps that are available at the open house here today in person or online if you're watching this virtually. The colors indicate how full each block is for each collection period. At a high level, there is a parking supply that greatly exceeds today's demand. No on-street parking blocks are consistently over 85% full throughout the day, and several blocks never reach over 25% full at all. However, some blocks, such as C Street, have a high demand periods where they are over capacity. Additionally, no off-street parking lots are consistently over 85% full, and the riverfront parking lots were frequently underutilized. During the weekday observations, 561 unique vehicles parked on street, and during the weekend, the number was 512. Out of 594 parking spaces, this results in downtown-wide turnover rates of less than 1 for both days. Some areas that saw higher turnover, meaning more cars were coming and going, were C Street, Main Street, and 2nd Street, which aligns with the popular destinations on those streets. This analysis shows that overall, there is a low number of cars rotating through each space, and there are long periods of time when individual cars are parked in the same location. Overall, downtown Independence has significant parking capacity. It has a combination of low turnover and low occupancy, which means the need to distribute the demand for parking. It also has low turnover and high occupancy on some streets, which means the need for time management. Based on our data, downtown does not have a combination of high turnover and high occupancy. So, what are these strategies for managing parking in downtown? One parking strategy is wayfinding and navigation. This strategy seeks to improve information about where parking is underutilized and help you find that parking. This strategy includes improving directions inside and outside the car. These directions can apply to drivers seeking existing parking spaces and to pedestrians seeking their destinations after they've parked. Having parking in proximity to destinations is key to making parking desirable and to encouraging proper use. Additionally, the strategy would include a branding and wayfinding program to create a consistent look and message to improve how you navigate downtown, regardless of how you choose to travel. The second strategy is about managing parking turnover or preventing the stagnant use of at-capacity parking. To manage turnover, the city can expand and improve its current time-limited parking program. There are currently only a few parking limited on-street spots. However, based on the parking data collected, a few spots in the downtown area were occupied throughout the day by the same vehicles. This strategy would entail implementing spots specifically for loading and unloading at strategic locations. A second strategy to managing turnover would be to implement a technological solution to ping drivers about time limitations when they park. This technology would reduce city operating costs by utilizing existing mobile apps, all while being accessible to users. A third strategy to managing turnover would be a parking enforcement program. This program has the opportunity to leverage partnerships of nearby programs or to outsource the program to a private company. The third strategy overall is spot improvements. These improvements focus on design-oriented solutions to apply to the built environment. One spot improvement strategy is to add to or improve the existing parking capacity. This can be done through minor reconfigurations of existing street space, such as switching from parallel to angled parking. Off-street parking can be increased through public-private partnerships. Another type of spot improvement is focused on the pedestrian experience. A lot of pedestrian-oriented infrastructure is focused on specific locations. By expanding the walkable area and initiating other pedestrian improvements, access between existing underutilized on-street parking and downtown destinations will improve. Pedestrian improvements may include marked crossings, expanded sidewalks or sidewalk buffers, better signage, curb extensions, and other improvements. The photos shown here from going clockwise are marked crossings, a sidewalk buffer with green stormwater infrastructure, pedestrian crossing sign, and a curb extension. As the city evaluates these strategies, weighs the implementation timeline, and evaluates the priority level, we want to hear from you. Feel free to ask staff questions, provide feedback on the standing boards, and visit the city webpage for updates. Thanks for watching this video. I encourage you to get involved in the Independence downtown parking experience at this open house tonight. Thanks for watching this video. I encourage you to get involved with the Independence downtown parking experience at the link shown here. Information that was available at the in-person open house are provided, and there are opportunities for you to provide feedback. Thank you.